Hello, I'm Toycat, and one of the simplest additions that mods make to the game to really improve ambiance is adding dynamic lighting. This means that instead of a torch being a fixed source of light, it instead can light up the world as you move around with it. This is a really cool idea that will sadly never come to base Minecraft. It has been confirmed by the developers themselves alongside First, Furniture, and 10 other features I'll be going through today that will never come to Minecraft, and honestly, after hearing their explanation, I think you'll agree that even though these are popular ideas, they also should never come to the game, and that sounds like a bold prediction, but let me explain. Minecraft is really big on democracy, which has never gone poorly, by the way, not a single time, but the great thing about democracy in Minecraft is the fact that they try to listen to literally all the suggestions they get and have a dedicated website called feedback.minecraft.net where anyone can post ideas. However, there are some ideas that are off limits, and obviously there's the usual rules about moderation and censoring me just because I tried to, but there's the usual rules that websites have, but there is also this list of features which have been confirmed not to be coming to Minecraft now and which have no plans to be coming to Minecraft. In fact, the very opposite is true. Minecraft staff have come together and confirmed it is not a good idea, such as with the dirt slab. This is a feature which is the only one on this list which has been properly implemented into Minecraft before, and when you look at screenshots of it, you realize, oh yeah, dirt slabs sound really great. It sounds like a wonderful way to level out terrain and make it not as weirdly and blocky. However, when you see the game with dirt slabs, you realize immediately that this is not a good idea, and it just doesn't feel right for base Minecraft. If you want to have a mod with any of these features, Mojang is okay with it, but as far as the base game is concerned, they don't think it's great, just like how they don't think it's a great idea to have seasons, because seasons do seem logical in any game that has time progression, which is why so many of them use it. However, Minecraft is not going to be joining any of those, because although it would be a great sounding idea for the sake of progression, it wouldn't actually work when you think about how biomes in Minecraft kind of represent different seasons. I mean, we have different biome tints to represent a snowy biome versus a hot biome. What would it look like when it's winter in the savannah? What would it look like when it is summer in the frozen plains? It is very hard to answer these questions in a consistent way that makes sense to most players, and so the idea of working out what the normal season should be, let alone what all of the variants should be, and then also working out how this actually improves Minecraft is one that is very hard. I do think that something Minecraft could do in place of this, because seasons would be a great way to measure, like, oh, it's been a full year in Minecraft since I started this world. Right now there is a day counter in Minecraft that people like to use on Java Edition for these videos, but it's hidden behind a command and it doesn't feel right, and I would prefer if there was some in-game method to actually track this. Maybe when you go to sleep it shows you how long it's been since you were last awake, even if just on the death screen, instead of showing that score that no one really fully understands anyway, what if it says you have survived X number of days? That would be really fun, and having that be somewhere accessible, even if it has to be in the options screen, would be really cool. I just think putting more things behind commands, terrible for YouTube videos, and it's also terrible for the end player, just like natural disasters. This is a fun idea for the exact same reason. It adds to the feeling of the world being real. However, they've confirmed it's not a good idea for the same reason that creepers and endermen suck when they, go off and destroy your builds. I mean, think about how much it sucks to have a giant creeper hole in your world, or even worse, a giant creeper hole in the side of your house, and now think about when you have a nice, plain, perfectly flat area of sand or grass. Let's say you've covered an end island in sand, and now endermen are lifting it up and ruining it everywhere. This really sucks. That second example, purely hypothetical. This really does suck, and this is something that would be on steroids if they added natural disasters. Imagine if there were earthquakes and your builds got destroyed. Imagine a volcano goes off and now your whole house is covered in lava, you can't move. No natural disaster that actually impacts the world in a meaningful way can actually be a good addition to the game, because it will ruin things that the player has put time and effort into making. And why would we do that to people? The answer is we probably shouldn't do that to people, because we don't want them to have a bad time in Minecraft. And so this is something that Jeb has directly confirmed, even saying it's one of his design pillars in Minecraft Live 2020. It's one of his things in his big book of game design. He said that he does not want anything that alters the world and causes damage outside the player's control. In fact, his description is so tight that it almost sounds like they wouldn't add creepers or endermen today, which is a shame for creepers, It's not for Enderman, but that's a point for another day. Just like how vertical slabs are an idea the community really want, but that don't fit with what Minecraft think Minecraft should be. And to explain that, we'll also include furniture items in here, because they're also on this same list for the exact same reason. Furniture is a great idea if you're thinking about a house and trying to decorate it with chairs and tables and all these different things. However, adding really specific furniture items takes away from the mindset of players being creative. If there is a table in Minecraft, why would you ever need to build your own out of stairs and slabs, or fence posts and pressure plates, or fence posts and carpets, or even I've seen bamboo and carpets is a fun one. There are so many different ways to design tables, and they're all terrible compared to what a table would look like, and so adding a table, even though it would be much better in the sense of being accurate, it would actually remove creativity from the game. The same is true for basically any furniture item you can imagine. I mean, if you've seen the number of different ways people can create beds, but they don't need to because there's a piece of bed furniture, you'd see why the only reason they should ever add furniture to the game is if it has a direct use. I mean, there's kind of an oven in the form of the smoker, there's kind of a bed, there's a crafting table, and I guess doors also exist, but that is about the extent of it. Minecraft does not want to add any more specific furniture, and so in the same vein, vertical slabs are not coming to the game because they would remove a lot of creativity as far as Jeb and other Minecraft developers are concerned. This is actually a really interesting premise, because why do we have, the regular slabs, right? Why can we have them be horizontal? Is an interesting question, and we can only speculate based on the fact that Minecraft tries to add as many full blocks as possible, if you look at the last few updates, whereas, adding slabs has not been a big priority, so it sounds like they just don't really like the regular slab to begin with, and so that is why we don't see vertical slabs, that's why we don't see sideways or diagonal, whatever weird portions of blocks you're thinking of, like with the chisels mod, and also why we don't see furniture, because adding more options that only allows you to make more specific things is actually removing creativity from Minecraft, as non-specific as that is. Next up here, we have guns. Guns are a great feature in... No, they're not even. Like, adding guns to Minecraft is just the laziest, I like other games that have guns, what if Minecraft had guns too? There is nothing more that needs to be said besides, these wouldn't fit the game, and it's been confirmed a trillion times. Do you need to hear me explain it? You don't. Okay, we're finally going to come back to torches. Torches burning out after some time is one of those ideas that was always planned to come to Minecraft, and it especially makes sense when it comes to rainfall, because if you have a torch and the rain is falling on it, the rain should put out the torch. Just like, I mean, honestly, if you have a fire, rain will put it out unless it's Netherrack, but the reason that they're not doing this is because it would make the game less enjoyable and more irritating with basically no benefit. I mean, sure, adding realism to Minecraft makes perfect sense in some cases, but this is one of the few places where they see that actually this type of realism adds no fun to anyone, and I wish that was a realization they could apply to more things, but for now it's just for the torch. Just like how the torch is mentioned when it comes to dynamic lighting, all the time you see really cool shader tech demos showing off just how wonderful it'd be if we had the light come from torches even while it was being held by the player, and although the official first reason was always cited as performance, think about it, if there is a torch on the ground, you calculate the lighting once and then maybe every time something else changes. If there is a torch in your hand, you have to calculate where that light is going every single frame. It adds a lot of complexity and performance requirements. This is the official reason, but I think the much better reason is that it actually messes with gameplay in a big way. I mean, if you were to have the torch work in your offhand, why would you ever craft more than one? You could just always have your offhand be a torch. It'd be one of the most valuable items you could put there, and so this would make exploring caves, especially in the early game, so much less fun. Right now, early game without any torches, going into a cave is nerve-wracking, and you want to get some coal as fast as possible to get some. This is a case where adding more to Minecraft is actually removing gameplay value, which is a common theme across this list. One idea that doesn't fit that mold though definitely has to be Dyable planks. This is another mentioned feature, so Minecraft developers mentioned it would be really cool, but they never got around to it, and so people have suggested it many times until they eventually confirmed just a few years ago ago that they would not be adding Dyable planks. Why is that true? Well, there's already 9 variations of planks as of recording this video. It might even be more by the time you watch this. Bringing in the ability to dye planks would just take away from the natural feel of the existing wood colors and limit their usage within build. If you can have wood be any color, what is the point of the birch or the mangrove trees giving you white or red wood respectively? I think that it makes sense for wool to come in any color, also for concrete, maybe for terracotta even. All of these dyeable blocks are deliberately set up that way. However, when it comes to planks, they have this place in the game where they come from a natural source, and it makes as much sense as dyeable stone or dyeable crafting tables or dyeable anything, honestly, in that it would surely sound good on the surface, but given that Minecraft is this game kind of that works within its constraints, that's what makes it so challenging. I think an alternative to dyeing planks and adding all these dyes to the game could just be adding more wood types in the future. I mean, adding more to the overworld is a no-brainer. We have lots of biomes that don't have a tree type already. We have lots of biomes that can do with a second tree type, like the savannah with the baobab trees, but I also think that an end update perhaps could add some end trees. That would be really wild if they decided to do that. I mean, I can't stop talking about ideas that I have for an end update, but we won't do that here because I'm too busy complaining about the difference between redstone mechanics on Java and Bedrock. This is something that I feel like a sizable portion of the community don't know, and so it means that anyone who tries to talk about redstone is going to be wrong for roughly 50% of people who watch a given video, or because, you know, even though most Minecraft players play Bedrock, YouTube viewers tend to skew more Java, and so there's this weird thing where if you make a contraption in Minecraft, you need to know exactly which version of Minecraft it is, and given that Minecraft don't put a great deal of advertising into explaining which one is Bedrock and which one is Java, people go through all of this pain of building something just to realize it doesn't work. And I'll be honest, this has happened to me before too. Even just between Java and console, some things you could build block for block exactly like something amazing you saw, and it just wouldn't work. I mean, even if you take my creative world, the one that I've had for like 10 years now, I've been putting it together like a lot of my creative worlds to make this big fusion world. If people want to tour it, by the way, it's something I'm working on. But if you look around that world, you'll find all sorts of redstone contraptions that I built and that worked somewhere between 2012 and 2017, but then the entire redstone system changed and now they don't work at all. You can't have anvil launchers in Bedrock because anvils don't work that way, and slime blocks don't seem to affect them in the same way. There's so many crazy changes, and here's the thing, it's been confirmed that they will never bring parity to Redstone. They want Bedrock and Java to be as similar games as possible, but the Redstone is living proof that they will never be exactly the same, because if a player has built a redstone contraption in their Minecraft world for either Java or Bedrock, they don't want to mess with that existing contraption. Obviously, if you're a console edition player, Minecraft's opinion is get fucked. But more seriously, it presumably is because of the console edition switch from Java Redstone to Bedrock Redstone. It is presumably because of that switch that they realized that, yeah, this messes with so many people's existing stuff, and so they don't want to go through this again. If an update breaks everyone's builds, it's going to be impossible for people to accept that update, and also this goes against the principle from before of having new updates break existing builds. They will sometimes go slightly against this to add new blocks below your world, but they, in general, want your existing worlds to stay the same. No matter what updates come, it should just be the new stuff that changes, because Minecraft is very keen on updating this game for a very, very long time, and so having a consistent path forward on those updates while still allowing you to play your old world, let's say you love it for 10 plus years, that is an important thing to them that I guess they've at least learned their lesson from, even if they're not directly going for it for the same reason. Next up here we have iron, obsidian, or nether boats, just boats that can be used on lava. It's a really fun idea that lots of people have had. However, ever since they added the Strider in 1.16, they've said that it's not necessary, because if they were to add any of these boat designs, as great as they look, by the way, the truth is the Strider would have its entire purpose removed. The Strider is a lava walker right now, and although it has a whole ton of issues for actually traversing the Nether, it is the way to traverse the lava floor of the Nether, and if they add anything else, then this whole mob goes down the drain. I actually don't like like this explanation fully, because obviously when it comes to stuff like the pig, which was the only animal that used to be able to be saddled, after they added the horses, riding a pig with a carrot on a stick seems really silly, right? And the same thing is true for riding any animal after the Elytra comes in. Why would you waste your time riding a horse when you can fly straight to your destination? And so yeah, we could have some form of never boat. However, they would have to make it really hard to craft. They'd have to give it upsides and downsides versus the Strider, and they'd have to somehow keep the Strider in use. And I just imagine right now that's not a priority, because why would we need it? We've already solved that problem, and there's not many people that really run into it anyway, so having two solutions to a vague problem doesn't make very much sense. Just like how adding a first bar doesn't make much sense. I don't know why people request this so much. Why do you want to make Minecraft less simple? Why do you want to have another thing for Minecraft players to think about that only becomes annoying? I mean, when your first bar is filled, what is it going to do for you? It's going to allow you to live in Minecraft normally, but now we have to worry about making glasses and like drinking water through them or getting ourselves into water regularly, and then you got to worry about, well, you shouldn't be able to get a water bottle from the ocean, which is salty, and be able to drink it. Like, you know, when you think about what a first mechanic would actually entail, the only people who want it are people who look at the hunger bar and go, wouldn't it be cool if we had a second one of these? The answer is no, unless the first bar allows you to magically sprint faster when it's absolutely full, and even then, why don't we just do that normally and remove the first bar altogether? I'm just saying, it's a dumb idea. Just like how it's a dumb idea to have copper or emerald armor. The uses for emerald and copper were never intended to replicate the use case for iron or diamond or netherite. Those are armor types that are also tool types, whereas emerald is meant to be a currency and copper is meant to be for building alongside the crafting of weird niche items. If we add armor and weapon sets for these things, not only would it be destroying the point of these very specific items, which have their niches in the game, but also, you know what else it would do? It would be nearly pointless, because unless you make them better than diamonds or iron, then no one is going to want to use them besides for aesthetics. And if it's solely about aesthetics, then did you know you can dye leather armor 16 million colors? And honestly, if you're at the stage where you care about aesthetics more than you care about the actual value, then you know what? Leather armor is perfect for you, because you can enchant it and it's a really big flex. Just like how it's a flex to wear an Elytra instead of a chestplate, right? Instead of caring about taking damage less, you care about getting around the world real fast. However, some people want to have their cake and eat it too, which, side note, it's a phrase I never fully understood when people said it, even as like a late teenager, but it means that if you have your cake, you have to choose between eating your cake or being able to eat your cake later. It's like, have your cake in your possession ready to eat, or eat it too. Because obviously every cake that you eat, you already have. It's just you're not going to have the cake much longer once you eat it. Okay, is that explanation good? Anyway, a lot of people want to have their cake and eat it too with the Elytra and the chestplate, and wear both simultaneously to be able to craft them together to make flying chestplates. But this is the thing. The point of Minecraft at the late game is about these decisions about whether you should wear a chestplate for the protection or whether you should wear an Elytra for the flying ability. I mean, it's super tragic when, let's say, you jump off from over 30 blocks because you're in the nether and you don't have your Elytra equipped like you think you do. It can be tragic when stuff like that happens. Yeah, that wasn't a hypothetical example like I wish it was, but the truth is there's meant to be a balance in the game between these two things. Saying that you should be able to wear both is just like saying, what if we had an even, protection 7 armor where you never took any damage from anything? It's a fun idea, but all it actually does is removes gameplay decisions, because everyone will just equip that all of the time. The point in Minecraft is meant to be between decisions, and although there's some decisions that are really dumb and tricky, not tricky at all to choose between, like the Bane of Arthropods or Smite discussion, the truth is having lots of different choices is what makes Minecraft a more interesting game, and so that is the 13 different things they will never add to Minecraft. But you know what? I lied to you. There's actually a 14th thing. But there's a really bad idea that Mojang have confirmed they would never add, because imagine having like this has been an idea a lot of people in the community wanted. Thank God Mojang didn't listen to them, but some people actually wanted a flying mob that spawns just because you haven't slept for several days, which would include time spent in the Nether or End, where you can't sleep, by the way, and it would come and attack you just for not sleeping. That's right, people have an idea for a mob that just ruins your day, but thank God Minecraft have confirmed they're not going to be listening to that one. We have no worries about Mojang giving into democracy there, because they have good ideas for game design that definitely don't involve listening to everything the community do. Just like how, if you don't want to listen to YouTubers, you might hate how they say at the end of videos, hey, have you considered subscribing? However, if you are watching this video and you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate it if you did. If you feel like I've earned it with this video, I would like a subscription, because it means you're slightly more likely to see one of my videos, and I would like it if you did, because I put a lot of work in. This is my job, you might not know, and it's something that I try my best with. But if you don't agree with that, then don't subscribe, because this video's over, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one, because of the algorithm or whatever. This is the worst pitch for a subscription ever. Some YouTubers would redo it, but I'm going to be honest with you. Subscribing is something that you do, and most YouTubers would redo that, but I'm going to be honest with you. Most YouTubers would redo this, but I'm going to level with you right here. You choose to subscribe on your own behalf. I would like it if you subscribe because you're interested. If you're only going to subscribe because I tell you to, then you probably wouldn't be a good subscriber anyway. So, you know what? Enjoy your day, because I'll see you in the next one anyway. Goodbye.